day 2. First thing we have done is we have launched an instance. As you can see here, it's already running and everything is fine. And حاولوا انتبهوا لما بدكم تعملوا EC2 instance إذا ما ظبطوا السكيورتي جروب to be specific إنه يسمح لك البورت رينج 5432 اللي هو تاع بوستجريس ما راح يزبط معكم. فهذا الاشي كثير بدكم تاخذوه بعين الاعتبار إنه لازم تروحوا على security group, edit inbound rules, allow Postgres, and of course allow it from anywhere مش بس practice. هذا it's very dangerous. You have to allow it from a specific instance, but because إنه إحنا we're not needing a specific instance, we just put it from anywhere. So that's that. This is a quick recap of day 2. So again, edit inbound rules so you can have Postgres port open. Yeah, there is no changes made. So save rules. Okay, cancel, just cancel. Go back to my EC2 instance. And then if you remember, we've took Linux week package management. We've learned how to install packages. So it's very easy to install packages. So it's just sudo apt install and PostgreSQL, PostgreSQL-contrib. You can do this like PostgreSQL download, and then you can find it on Linux or Ubuntu. Here you can Ubuntu. So you can see here, apt install PostgreSQL, and make sure to update it beforehand. Okay, so also we have talked in day 2, a quick recap, we've talked about filtering and sorting data. In day 1, we have used where like little bit, and then we're gonna sort results by order by, working with text, numbers, and date functions. We've talked about where clause. So in day 1, when we talked about update and delete, it said that it is important to use where, because if you don't, it's either gonna modify all the rows or delete them. فلازم نستخدم في ال update والdelete where as a conditional clause، إنه جملة شرطية، لأنه إذا ما عملنا هذا الإشي راح يتعدل وينحذف كل الأشياء اللي عنا، وإحنا ما بدنا هذا الإشي أكيد. But we've talked about where clause. We give the basic syntax. It's select whatever columns you want from a table, and where condition is whatever you want. We gave an example as well. So select first name, last name from employees, where department is to. And then we have, and then we've talked about common operators like equal, not equal, and greater and less than, greater or equal, less than or equal. And we've talked about like. So like uses wildcards, and we've saw how we can use them. So if we said, I want a name, give me all the names that starts with J or start with S, like Sabine. So we're gonna use select first name from the table employees, like the first name is equal to J. So let's look at the example. This is and. So here you can see select first name where department is to and salary is over 50,000. Like operators, this represents 0, 1, or multiple characters. This is called a wild card. Sorry, علامة المود هاي wild card. ما بتلتزم في نوع معدد من الكاركترز. على عكس الداش, it represents a single character. So if you want John, let me open Canva and open my whiteboard. So we've talked about like. ولنفترض عنا John, and we've also tried, احنا جربناها car models, بس let's do John. Okay, so John, it's J-O-H and then N. Okay, it's either you write like Joe and J, and then you put the wildcard هي علامة المود, or you can do J if you know how many characters and add 1, 2, 3 dashes. Okay, this is the difference between the underscore and the mod score. So you also can use both based on the previous example we've talked about Toyota, سيارة تويوتا, Toyota. And we have entered a mod sign, and then we have entered Y, and then 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. And this is gonna return anything that's similar to Toyota or Toyota itself. And we're gonna, let me see actually, this DT, sorry, DT, no, select all from employees. So you can see here, okay, John Doe and Jane Smith. That's good. We're gonna take the first thing. Okay. Okay, cancel request send. Thank you. And yeah, I know it's ended. Okay, I'm done. That's good. Okay, I just have to press Q because it was being dramatic. So we can say like here's an example one. We can say select, is it first name? Select, what is it? I forgot. Let's do it again. So it's first name. Okay. Select first name from employees where first name, like, let's put we said let's put J, capital letter, and then the wildcard, and let's see what it gives us. So as you can see here, if we have entered J wildcard, راح يرجعنا all the names that start with J, like Jane, John, Joseph, James, and Joshua, Jason, all these kind of things. But لاحظوا إنه هدول عنا إياهم 4 characters, so John and Jane 4 characters. We can do the same thing, but enter 4 3 dashes. Did not enter. Let me fix it. It's not this one, it's the underscore. So مش it's the underscore, it's not a dash. So you enter J 1, 2, 3, and it's gonna give you back John and Jane. Okay. And you can use both, as you can see here. So if we entered John and Jane, no, they don't have okay. As you can see here, we can use select all from J, and then A, no, A in small letters, and then the rest are gonna be wildcards. Okay, so as you can see here, first name, first character, whatever, then A, then also whatever characters. As you can see here, the second letter of all is gonna be A, and there's only one character before. So Jane, David, Sarah, James, كلهم ببلشوا one character, then A as the second character, and then a wild card. So there's no specific link to the strings. Okay, and we also talked about order by. It's a way to order descending or ascending, so we can use that. Here's the basic syntax. It's select from table order by column, either ascending or descending. So as you can see here, we can see select first name, last name, salary. We can take this. Oh, sorry. We can take this and use it. Okay, I think we have the same thing. So let's do that. Paste as plain text. Okay. So here it gives us the first name, last name, and salary, and I didn't actually specify if it's ascending or descending, but I think this is descending, yeah. From higher to lower. Okay. Yeah, here it is descending, yeah. And if we entered the same thing and entered ascending, so ESC, oh, sorry, there's a Q. your first thing. And do this and ascending. You can see here it's gonna do the totally opposite. As you can see here, Nancy Garcia is the first one from down. Okay. Then we've talked about working with text numbers like length and select length hello as length of string. We've talked about upper and lower cases, so select upper or select lower. We've also talked about concatenation, so combining two strings together. We've talked about substring to pull a substring from Postgres. Also, we've talked about numbers. We've talked about rounding numbers لأقرب إشي. We've talked about seal and floor. So seal rounds up to the higher number and floor rounds up to the lower number. ABS, absolute value. So if you have a negative or positive value, it's always going to be positive. القيمة المطلقة I think بيحكوا له. فإذا كان عندك إيجابي أو سلبي راح يطلع عندك إيجابي. المود we know what mod is. So 10 تقسيم 3 or 10 divided by 3 is 9 and the only left or the remainder is 1. So this is what's gonna give us. And that was the end of day 2. So a quick recap. So now we're gonna begin day 3. So now or today or day 3, it's more interesting because we're gonna talk about something called aggregating data. Okay, so we've talked about round, we've talked about a lot of functions that work with numbers, text, and date, but we didn't talk about any that considers sum, average, المتوسط الحسابي, المجموع, العدد, these kind of stuff. These kind of stuff we need. So I want you to sum up all the salaries of all employees. So this is a case. So aggregated functions are used to perform certain type of calculations and return a single value. And you can also use group by, not order by, but group by. And then you can specify a condition by using the word having. It's not like where. So if it's not aggregated, so we're gonna hear right, no. Oh, sorry, that text box. So here we can say no aggregation. We can use where to do a condition. So aggregation, we're gonna use something called having. Okay, this is really important. If you use where on aggregated function, it's not gonna work. And I've tried it, believe me, multiple times. So common functions, we have sum, count, average, min, and max. Basically, sum is the sum of values. Count, it's gonna return the number of rows. It's different than sum. Average is average number or average value. And min and max, I think it's also obvious. So min and max are gonna return the smallest and largest value in the column. Okay, so count example, as you can see here, this guy is counting the number of employees he has. Select count all from employees. Did I get a chat or something? I don't think so. So as you can see here that select count all the rows, all the table as number of employees from employees. So let's try this. As you can see here, we have approximately 50 rows. Here it is. So select count. We're gonna do this. So I inserted 50 rows. Let's do it. Select count. And we've said the star is all. So select count all from employees. And we can add an alias, so we can do as emp number. It's gonna return us as emp number. That's fine. So you can see here emp number is 50 rows. It's 50, 50 rows. Okay. So now we've understand select count as employee numbers. We can use like select Now let's go to the next question. The next slide, because I wanted to do something very complicated, but no. Okay. So some example is we can sum the salary based on total salaries from employees. Okay. So we have a salary row and we need to sum the whole salaries. So if we went back, select all from employees, you can see here that we have a lot of salaries and we want to sum up the 50 rows we have right here. As you can see, 50 rows. Okay, so let's do that. Select sum of salary. I think it's salary, right? From, and the table is employees. Oh, that's wrong. Okay, that's wrong. It's not gonna work yet. So as you can see here, the total sum is, that's a lot. So the total sum is $210,000 and 415 and 55 cents. So that's nice. So this is the sum of the salaries. So let's select all from employees, and then we can see where
select.
Oh, sorry. Sectec. I don't know. And so select from employees where gender are, I think it's in capital if I'm not mistaken. So where gender is female. So gender, what it is? I forgot what they called it. So it does not exist. Do we have a gender? Let me select all from employees. It is gender, right? Did I do anything wrong? Where gender is equal to F. Yeah, equal. I forgot the equal one. That's okay. Yeah. So as you can see here, it's gonna return all the employees that are females. That's good. I'm not escape. It's just cute. So we can, when we're gonna talk about group by and having, we're gonna understand more complex queries. We also can talk about average salary. So let's take this one and insert it. And it's the average salary for employee is 4,020 4,208. هذا المعدل الحسابي لكل employee. Approximately, it makes sense because half of the employees are either above 4,000 or below them. And that makes sense. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Min and max. It's select min salary as lowest salary. We can do that. So select min and then salary as lower or low salary from employees. And we can see that it have returned the lowest salary. So that's, I want to see also not just the minimum salary, but the first name. So let's enter the first name. It's an aggregated function. I don't think it's gonna work. As you can see here, column first name must appear in the group by clause or used in aggregated functions. So let me try and do a space maybe. It's gonna work. It's not gonna work. Let me try and remove the column. Or just enter. It's not gonna work. I like trying stuff. So the max is the same thing. If you want to try it, we can go up before the trying to incorporate first name. So Max, it's gonna return, I think the 5,300 is for Nancy Garcia. And maybe this one is for someone who's called Robert. Okay. So group by is literally like this picture. It helps us to uh, arrange data in an identical group. And we can use to, as you can see here, produce summary reports, a lot of things. And you can see here, select all aggregated function, and from table group by column. So as I said, and in here, yeah, this one right here, aggregation, we can use where, and no aggregation having, and we can use group by to help us group by gender, maybe, let's say. So let's try this. I don't want department ID. We can do that actually. And we can do gender as well. So let's try both. Select sum, no, not sum, count, sorry. Count of all I forgot what. Okay, select all. Here it worked. What? Okay, we're gonna try this. So department ID count count all as number of employees. So as number or employee from employee. Then we can group by, as it said, department ID, I think. Department ID. So let's try this out. It's employees. Okay, good. So as you can see here, we have 6 departments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 departments. And as you can see here, we can see that 101 or department 101 has 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 6, 7, kind of close to each other, which is good. We also can select department ID, and then let's try group by gender. I don't think it's gonna work, but let's try. There. Yep, I don't think it's gonna work because department ID is there. So let's put here gender. That's good. So as you can see here, we have 25 with 25, so equal. Male and female. That's good. So this is the group by function is used in aggregated function. Having is also used in aggregated functions. It's a conditional clause, and it can use to filter records when you work with group by. It is similar to where clause, and we've talked about it, but aggregation, we use having. So basic syntax is group by and then having some type of condition. So having count is, let's do this. And let's try it out. So select department ID, count. I think it's gonna return everything because all the departments are above 5. I think, yeah. So let's try above 6. So let's try above 6. Yes, this have returned anything that is above 6, which is 106, 102, 101, and 103, and 104. It haven't returned 105 and 107, as you can see here. طبيعي. لأنه if we read the query, it selects department ID, count, and we want to do the same thing we did here, but return me the things that are above than 6 employees. فرجعلنا هدول departments. This is having. So let's try it. I want to try it on gender, but it has the same number, so I can't like think of anything. That's fine. Okay. So that's it for today. I have a few exercises and practical examples, and I want to go over it. Is there like, yeah, okay. So first exercise, we have calculate total sales by product. Okay, so total sales product. And so we have product, and we have sales. Why am I like doing this myself? Okay, let's look. Suppose you have a sales table, in a sales table, and with columns, product, ID, quantity, and price. So we have 3 columns, ID, and then quantity, I think, and 1 price, quantity and price, right? So Q and P. And you want to calculate total sales for each product, you can use the following query, but is this gonna give us the answer? And this is an example, okay? So select product ID, and we need the sum of quantity by price as total sales, okay? So again, if you have like ID 1 and you have like 4 of it, and the price is 5, you want the total sales in here of ID 1. So ID 1, total sales لو بعنا, if we sell the 4 quantity, it's quantity 4. So if we sell 4 for 5, it's gonna be basically 20. So 4 multiplied by 5 is 20. This is the total sales, okay? And we can use from sales, and we can group them by product ID. So it's gonna give us ID, let's say 1, and it's equal to 20, okay? And if we have something else like ID 2, maybe it's 30. Let's do this. 30. Let's see here, we have 10, and we have 3, and it's 2. Okay. So exercise 1, I want you to write a query to find the average salary for each department. That's easy. So here you can write a query to find, I don't, let me open the slideshow. I hope you guys didn't notice. Okay, that was funny. So write a query to find the average salary for each department. So let's go on number 2. This is, you can do it later. Is it gonna move? It's gonna move. Okay. So exercise 2. To find departments where average salary is greater than 60,000, we can use having. As you can see, this is asking for an average salary. We have to select departments. So it needs department, it needs average salary that are greater than 60,000. So 3 things. Department ID, it's where the department come from. Average salary is AVG salary, which is an aggregated function. And then greater than 60,000, this is an conditional clause, okay? So as you can see here, select department ID, and I want the average salary as average salary from employees. And we're going to group them by departments. It's based on the question. And then we're going to have it greater than 60,000. So having average of salary is 60,000. Okay. So the exercise for this is write a query to count how many products have been sold more than 100 times. So we want a count. We want the count of the products that have been sold over 100 times. Okay. Exercise 3. We also have find the min and max hire dates by departments. So let's say someone has 10 years of experience, someone has 5, someone has 1. So we want to find this out. Select department ID, and minimum hire date as earliest hire and maximum as latest hire date from employees, and we can group them by department ID. Okay, so exercise 3 is write a query to find the total numbers of employees in departments where the total number of employees is less than 10. So we need the total number of employees, which is count basically, and want to find them and sort them by departments. وبدنا إياه يرجعلنا, so a conditional clause is I want the departments whose total employees is less than 10. In our case, it's gonna return all of them. And this is the end of day 3. Oh, you guys are solving it right now. Select average where ID department, right? Question 1. I'm gonna stop sharing because I have the answers in the slides. Okay, so task 1 says write a query. Here's what it says. So write a query to find the average salary for each department. Okay. So let me reshare. That screen window. Okay. Kind of is it sharing? I don't think it is. Stuck now. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So here it says that we want to select the average salary of each department. So we have DID, which is department ID, and we have salary. So first thing we want to understand is we have to group by department. So we have one thing we have solved. We have a group by department ID. So this is the first one. And then we need to find the average salary. So average salary. And you can put an alias. We can use as AVGS, which is average salary. Okay. Well, basically that's it. This is the answer. And it's very easy. So now we want to put them. The group is wrong, by the way. So that's it. Now you're gonna like tidy it up, as we say. We can say select and then say department ID, department ID, and we can say AVG salary from table or from employees. And then we can have some type of constraint or condition, and then we can add group by. Okay, so this is the first one. And this is, here it is. So hint, use AVG and group by department ID. So this is the hint. Oh, there is no answer. It's just a hint. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna go back to the old one. Okay, so here you can see we've talked about write a query to count how many products have you been sold more than 100 times. And you can see here, here's the hint. You can use count product ID, and having count product ID is more than 100, okay? And exercise 3, we've talked about write a query for total numbers of employees in department, and we want them to be, and we want them to be less than 10. So you can combine count with group by and having. As you can see here we have a conditional clause. Oh, what? Why is it doing this? Okay, so employees less than 10 is having, and we can group them by departments, and we can count the number of employees. Easy. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. It's very easy. SQL is nice. I love them. Tomorrow is gonna be a little bit more harder. We're gonna talk about joins and subqueries. We're gonna talk about inner, left, right, full join. We're gonna work with multiple queries. We've started this like today when we tried to do multiple queries. We're gonna look at a lot of things. So we're gonna use subqueries, and then we're gonna have another type of exercises we can use. Please try to exercise SQL as much as possible. I'm not really good with the SQL because I'm not really exercising it. I just really enjoy teaching databases. Databases kind of my passion. So every time I write SQL queries, I just become excited. So I love it. I love SQL. So I'm stop the recording, and I hope you guys have a